Okay guys, so we are looking at Pythagoras' theorem today, just thinking in, as we were looking at shapes last time, is another thing we need to look at. So Pythagoras' theorem is a way of working out the longest side of a right-angled triangle when you only know two of the lengths, okay? So what I've got here is just to show you. The longest side of a right-angled triangle is we call the hypotenuse, okay? So on this diagram, that's this side here, so it's the longest side of the triangle, okay? And you can see it's a right angle because it's got the little sign for right angle in the bottom corner, so a 90-degree angle, a right angle. So this word, hypotenuse, just means the longest side of a right-angled triangle, and that's what we're trying to work out in Pythagoras, okay? So this is the Pythagoras theorem, okay? So what we refer to it is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. A and b are the two sides of the triangle that we know the sides of. So a and b would be given to us, and we're trying to work out this long one, c, the hypotenuse, okay? So I've got an example down at the bottom here. Make sure you can see it clearly. So we've got a triangle with one side 3 centimetres and one side 4 centimetres, okay? So a squared would be 3 squared, which gives us 9. B squared, in this case, is 4 squared, which gives us 16. A plus b squared is 9 plus 16, so that gives us 25. And then finally, we need to do the square root. That's what this sign just here means, the square root of. The square root of that gives us 5, okay? So for any triangle, when you're doing Pythagoras, all you have to do is work out this number squared, add those together, and then square root your answer. The most common mistake that people make is not doing the square root at the end. They just leave the answer after adding the two together. So it's really just a simple thing to do. Get one side, square it, i.e. times it by itself. Get the next side, square it, so times it by itself. And then add the two answers together, and then take the square root of that, okay? So I've got two examples for you to try here. I'll give you some time to do them one at a time. For most numbers with Pythagoras, you will end up having to go to decimals. So if you do your answers to 2 decimal places, both for the examples and in the lesson work, and also please make sure that you watch the video that I've uploaded on rounding if you're not familiar with how to do rounding, okay? So here is your first example. So one of the triangles has got a length of 2, and the other one is 4. I've already put the first step in, which is to do 2 squared, giving you 4. Just remember, you then need to do 4 squared, add those two answers together, and then take the square root. So if you want to pause the video and have a go at working that out in full. Now let's go through the answer. Okay, so you can see I've done 2 squared, that gives me 4. I've done 4 squared, that gives me 16. I've added 4 plus 16, and that's given me 20. And then I take the square root of 20, which to 2 decimal places gives me 4.47. Okay, so remember, I'll repeat it again. All I've done is I've squared this side, I've squared this side, I've added them together, and then I've taken the square root of the sum of adding them together. Okay, so that's the other one I want you to try. You can see one of the sides is 7 and one of the sides is 15. So again, you can pause it and have a quick go. I'll just show you the answer in the working out. So once again, I've squared the 7, giving me 49. I've squared the 15, giving me 225. I've added them together, giving me 274. And then I've taken the square root of 274, which gives me 16.55 to 2 decimal places. Okay, so just a reminder, whenever we're looking at Pythagoras, it's just a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So get the first side you have an answer to and square it, get the next side you have an answer to and square it, add them together, take the square root, and you'll find the size of the length of this side over here. Okay, that's how Pythagoras goes. You can go back and have a look over bits of this video if you're not sure on that, and then have a go at the activities on Google Classroom. Okay, good luck.